Hello everyone, Kyle here. The following is an excerpt from the Project Finance Modeling package, and in this video we've just finished calculating an annuity debt repayment. And in this video we review it and we get into the mechanism of how to repay sculpted debt calculations. Now in separate videos we cover some of the theory behind this. In this video we cover the actual practice of calculating this in Excel. Enjoy!
We've calculated the interest. That's it for our account. But if you want an alternative style repayment, that's what we're going to do now. So we're also going to do it by a sculpted repayment. So this one, Shift Space, Control Shift Plus, header 3, that's an annuity. Let's now also do it from a sculpted repayment. Okay, so sculpted, what is this based off? Well, instead of now being based off the key thing with annuity, it's all calculated off the opening balance by virtue of the interest, which is opening balance times the rate. It's all calculated off the opening balance and the amount of tenors remaining, the amount of period remaining. That's how it's calculated, annuity. Sculpted is very different. Instead of saying this is how much you have to repay and this is over how long, Sculpted says, we've got some CFADs. Let's just calculate based off our CFADs what we can repay. It's unrelated to the actual amount drawn down. So that's something quite interesting. Let's start with that. So CFADs, we're pulling in our CFADs. And actually the thing is we only want our CFADs during the repayment period. And one thing I'm going to do, which I've forgotten to do, is I'm also going to amend the PD period. I'm also going to amend this because this is not to be confused. This interest isn't to be confused with this interest. They're actually different amounts. So I don't want anyone to get confused with that. And that's why I kind of specify some extra detail there in the label. And the same here. We only want our CFADs during the repayment period. I'll explain that in a second. CFADs, where do we get that from? We get it from here, CFW J46. Copy across and Alt EST. So CFADs during repayment period only. Well, I only want to be able to calculate my debt service or my principal to my repayment during my repayment period. I don't care what CFADs, or the bank, the lender doesn't care what CFADs I have outside of that period. Doesn't care at all. It just says, what CFADs do you have during that period so I can work out your repayment during that period. So that's fine. Now we're going to calculate something called max permissible debt service. So how much can you actually service your debt amount if you follow the DSCR calculation? So let's go on our input sheet. Here's senior debt, here's tenor, margin, fees. Don't have any sort of repayment logic here. So this is a part where we get to amend our input sheet a little bit. So let's go for it. I'm going to highlight this Shift Space, Control Shift Plus to add some rows. And let's create a title called Repayment. So firstly, we need to say, okay, which repayment selection are we going to actually use? Are we going to, and I'll just Control C, Alt EST, I'll get that style. Are we going to use annuity or sculpted? So let's hard code that, annuity or sculpted. So I'm just hard coding those, and those are going to be technical inputs, so they shouldn't actually change. And hopefully it becomes a bit clearer why I'm doing that soon. Now I need to create a data validation based off this. How do I do that? Well, data validation or Alt AVV. Open this up with Alt A, down, tab. The source, I can just hit down and across and shift down, hit enter, and there we go. And style that as an inputs. And Alt down will open this up. So let's say we go for annuity. That's our selection. But if we did want to go for a sculpted, we need our target DSCR that will come from the term sheet. So let's just say it's maybe 1.3. Great. Let's bring this in. So Control C, go to the debt sheet, Alt ESL, pulls it in, ratio off sheet. Great. And we're going to take our CFADs and divide it by the DSCR, and this will give us our total debt service. Total debt service, obviously, being your principal plus your interest. So that's this line equivalent of our annuity. It's total debt service. And once again, we need to take off the interest during repayment period. So just copy that in. Mostly to get the labels, not to get anything else, because we still have to move stuff. So it's minus the interest during the repayment period. That's it. And then what comes next? Well, it's not the principal, it's the max principal. Max principal repayment. Control D, Alt equals, and line subtotal. So hopefully, I'm sure you're not quite getting there with the speed just yet, but hopefully you're able to kind of follow what I'm doing with the shortcuts and see just how quick you can get. Super helpful, obviously, to the quicker you are. So you can check your results, by the way. So let's have a look at, let's say, Alt F1. You can see that you've got this slight waviness to it. So there you got your seasonality because of the CFADs. And here's you've got your interest repayment. So that's principal, that's interest. Very good. That looks reasonable. And you can do the same with annuity. Should be fairly similar profile. It just steps up with the inflation there. Okay, so we've calculated annuity, we've calculated sculpted, great. Now, how about we apply one of them? Applied. Essentially, we want to say here, okay, understand we've got both of them. Okay, which one is currently active? Because obviously the interest rate needs to update. The repayment needs to update. So the balance updates again to the interest rate updates. So that's annuity. Now I need to know, and bear with me, I'm just going to calculate the position on this. So same as what we did with the escalation. I'm going to say, what order is this in? Has it been selected in? So I'll refer to that. F4, comma 0. Very important to have that comma 0. And this is off sheet. Here's our position. This is kind of our selection. And I'm going to introduce you to the choose function here, which is very similar to a match function because it needs a position. But unlike when I say match, I mean index. But unlike the index, the two cells can be separated. So here's one and here's the other. So just like the index, it requires a position. Unlike the index, it doesn't need the range to be located next to each other. So in sequencing, they can be separated. Copy that across. And there we go. It's going to pick whichever of these. The last thing is, well, almost the last thing is now we need to update that. So instead of linking to there, it now links to the applied so that whenever you switch the switch, if I switch this to sculpted, that's sculpted, that updates to position 2. That picks now from position 2, which is here. You can see that 703 is coming through. And that feeds up here. So that's now linked in. Problem is, you can see this and this, it doesn't look great, right? You're paying by more than the actual amount itself. So if I look down here, you can see the account's gone into negatives. So at this point, you're hand over fist giving the bank money, and that's an issue. So why is it an issue, firstly, and then what do we do about it? Well, remember how I said the annuity repayment is really unrelated to how much you've actually taken on. It's purely related to the strength of your cash flows. So we're just taking our cash flows, not related to debt at all, the amount of debt, just taking our cash flows and dividing by 1.3. That gets us our debt service, taking off our interest, and that gives us our maximum principal. Just because our maximum principal repayment says we can maximally repay this amount doesn't mean we should repay it. In fact, we should only pay 647. Otherwise, we're going to overpay. So all of that is to say that debt sculpting, what we've worked out as debt sculpting, is unrelated to the size of the debt. And often people will use the debt sculpting to size the debt, to figure it out, but there's no connection in the model. They will need to make that connection themselves. So they will need to say, we should actually take on 36 and then essentially update the debt amount to 36. Now, that's what they would do with a macro. So there's a circularity as well. That will also be governed by the gearing percentage. So you wouldn't be able to raise 36 anyway if your gearing ratio is 75% in this project. So what do we do about this? So you know why it occurs now. Well, we need to limit it so it never overpays. We never want to overpay our debt. So I'm taking the lower amount of what it says we can potentially repay and how much is left to repay. Copy that across. And that smooths out nicely. So one thing to note, if we're on Sculpted, we're actually repaying early. That means we can potentially raise more debt, again, subject to gearing constraints. So we're repaying early at the moment. If you can't repay more debt, you can do something called reprofiling your debt, which is where you increase this. So you could increase this, I don't know, let's say 1.4. Just because the term sheet says the minimum DSCR can be, or the target can be 1.3, you can still go upwards of that. It's just that you can't go any lower than that because the risk is too high. So there you can see we've reprofiled our debt. So it's getting closer towards the tenor end. And you can keep doing that to kind of hit the tenor end. Improves your equity returns, obviously, because you're now able to distribute more to equity holders. Okay, so that's it for the actual repayment and the senior debt. And this is the process that you'd go through if you're sizing your debt, if you're trying to size your debt and schedule your debt before financial close. We're now going to turn our attention to debt metrics, which is what you do when you're beyond financial close and it's all for covenant testing.